The audience, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Event. Parents and scout leaders of this candidate have spent many hours guiding and encouraging him toward the final goal of Boy Scouts, the Eagle Scout. Their efforts are realized this afternoon in the presentation of the Eagle Badge. Of any 100 boys who become Scouts, it must be confessed that 30 will drop out in the first year. Perhaps this may be regarded as a failure, but in later life, all of these will remember that they had been Scouts and speak well of the program. Of the 100, rarely will one ever appear before a juvenile court judge. 12 of the 100 will be from families that belong to no church. Through scouting, these 12 and many of their families will be brought into contact with a church and will continue to be active throughout their lives. 6 of the 100 will become pastors. Each of the 100 will learn something from scouting. Almost all will develop hobbies that will add interest throughout the rest of their lives. Approximately one half will serve in the military and in varying degrees profit from their scouting activities. At least one will use it to save another person's life, and many will contribute it to saving their own. 2 of the 100 will reach Eagle rank, and at least one will later say that he valued his Eagle above his college degree. Many will find their future vocation through the merit badge work and scouting contracts. 17 of the 100 boys will later become scout leaders and will give leadership to thousands of additional boys. Only 1 in 4 boys in America will become scouts, but it's interesting to know that the leaders of this nation in business, religion, and politics, 3 of the 4 were scouts. This story will never end. Like the golden pebble of service dropped into the human sea, it will continue to radiate in ever-widening circles, influencing the character of men down through unending time. Now I would like to introduce Troop 551 Scoutmaster. He served for a couple years now. He's always looking for ways to improve the church. Elvie Tanner.
Thank you. It is with great pleasure and honor that I present to you Eagle Scout Sam Herbst and his parents Kathy and Wayne Herbst.
I've heard him speak before, a very dynamic speaker. He has attended, well, the first time I met him was at my own Eagle Scout Court of Honor. You may have seen him at John Tomczak's, and he's here today to talk to us. Mr. Mike Thelgrove, Samoset Council Scout Executive.
A packed outdoor banquet and meeting, and so I've covered a lot of miles here in the Northland in the last 24 hours. It's great to be with you, and it's great to be a young man in the Boy Scouts of America. We're going to talk about several things. Have you got this picture yet? I want to make sure you get this picture so I can get. All right. I was doing this thing one time talking, and there was a lady with a video camera like this lady, and she had it on a tripod. Now this lady's pretty smart. She's got hers where she can move around. And I kept moving this poor camera. He's chasing me all over the room. Well, it's great to be here to talk about teenage adults and law. In your hands is the responsibility to share with literally hundreds of children the importance of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. I gotta tell you, I've been in scouting a long time, and I've enjoyed lots of adventures. I've been to Philmont, and I've been to national jamborees, and done all the that happen in scouting. And I gotta tell you, they don't occur without carrying leadership. So I want us to kind of build a small audience here. Elvie, would you come stand right here? Elvie's going to help me represent scout leaders. A young man gets built through the leadership that this individual gives and the committee that works with that individual in strengthening. But right now, they're all, he is, oh my goodness, he is going to do that. Plays a critical role. If I were to ask some of you men who are in scouting as a young person, if you could remember your scoutmaster, you'd say yes, like that. I give service club talks all the time, and I'll walk into a room and there'll be 100, 120 people in the room. I say, how many of you were in scouts as kids? And there'll be tons of hands go up. And I'll say, how many of you can remember your scoutmaster's name? Up go the hands again. I said, fine, tell me your 6th grade school teacher's name. Down go the hands. Well, tell me your Sunday school teacher's name. Down go the hands. You see, scoutmasters, because they spend this important amount of time with young people, help shape them in something that means a lot. Now, it's hard to evaluate what that means when they're at this age. All right? Because at this age, they got all that harmonious stuff running through their body, you know? And so they got to keep up with their friends in school, you know? They got to, you know, if my friends get 3 earrings, I got to have 6. And if my friend wears his hair like this, and see, they don't have to do that, really. Because scouting gives young people, through a scoutmaster, the strength to be able to set a tone, a pattern. And that pattern then lasts the rest of their life. Let me make that point a little more. Where's our senior patrol leader? I saw that patch. Get over here. I'm standing on this side. This young man will represent all scouts in America and in our scout troop here. Now in front of you have the makings, the foundations of the Boy Scouts of America. Lord Baden-Powell, almost 86 years ago, said, and by the way, he started scouting because there were gangs in London. Did you know that? In his earliest writings, Baden-Powell said the reason he wanted scouting in London, England, was because young people were tearing the towns to shreds. They were killing each other, they were stealing, they were maiming, they were hurting people, and he said, I need something better for these kids to do. Guess what he thought of? Scouting. Senior patrol leader learns from his scoutmaster how to be a leader. He then works with the other boy leaders to put together a scout troop and provide a scouting program. Now, that's how scouting works. It's how it's worked for 84 years. This is what you see. The camping, the uniforms, the merit badges. But it's a lot more than that. You can sit down. You can sit down. I wanted to make that point with you so that you know where we're starting from. Because now I want to talk about this young man and forward and how our community is going to perceive this young man. Because you see, once that Eagle medal is pinned by his mom on that pocket, he is forever an Eagle Scout. Forever an Eagle Scout. When he gets the chance to go to college and puts on his application for college, they're going to ask, what were some of your honors and recognitions as a young man? And I got to tell you, many a young man I've met has gotten a college scholarship because of the medal that's going to hang on that pocket. Most of the guys who get into the military academy do so because of the medal that hangs on that pocket. And these citizens know what it means for an Eagle Scout to be an Eagle Scout. I want to make sure you know. I call this my Uncola story. Everybody know what the Uncola is, right? Got those little red dots flying all over the place. You want to take that cola thing away and you get 7 Up kind of thing. I was at a court of honor one time and this thought just kind of hit me. As what's the difference between this young man, what's the difference between this human being, and what are the other human beings that are in our towns and our communities, the ones where we open up the paper and we read about it and we think, oh my God, I'm glad that's not my son. Oh my God, why is that happening to our children? Well, with somebody, where's these kids' parents? All right? And moms and dads, you and I read that. We see that in our papers. All we got to do is watch NBC or ABC or CBS at 6 o'clock and we get our ears filled with it. America being destroyed by the X generation. This kid's a member of the X generation. And I got to tell you something. He ain't an X at all. The Uncola story. I wish I could have 12 candles because I somehow get them all up here. But in this man is 12 candles. They are trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. That's what it means to be a Boy Scout. Now I want you to take all 12 of those words and just put "un" in front of them. Think about it a minute. Untrustworthy, unloyal, unfriendly, unhelpful, uncourteous, unkind, unobedient, all the way down to unreverent. Now, if you took those words, and then those principles that follow afterwards, would you be seated here? Of course not. Would you expect that of a person in scouting? Of course not. But that's exactly what the MTV generation is all about. It's the unning of American values. It's the destruction of things like loyalty and trust and reverence. I attended a seminar not too long back in which the leading expert on juvenile delinquency in the state of Wisconsin was the speaker. He's now the director at Ethan Allen Boys School. This man stood up and he's a sombering man. I have to tell you, Gene Schneider's his name. And Gene is a sombering man. He never smiles. He just looks you in the eye, and when you get done, you don't know whether to run out and throw yourself off a bridge or what. He's just so sombering about what he says. But he looked out across this audience of people and he said, with today's teenagers, you ought to know that you're in a tunnel and you see a light at the end of the tunnel, and most times they tell you that if there's a light at the end of the tunnel, we've got some way of getting rescued. He said that the light at the end of this
Sam, why don't you want here? It's your party. Everyone wants to see you. They want to see John and I. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. As you all know, I'm Sam's father. And I want to tell you that I'm very proud of this boy here. He's been a good son. He's done a lot of things right. Most things he's done are right. He makes a few mistakes, but we all do. I'm very proud of him, and I love him very much. And, he's given me certain instructions on things I can't say during my presentation here, so I'm going to honor him. He didn't want me to embarrass him, so I'm going to have to flip-flop. I had some embarrassments in here that I've got to leave them out now, so I'm going to be stumbling a little bit as I go through here. He asked me to do this, and I'm going to kiss up to him.
when he graduates from college, I'm going to be retired, and he's going to start taking care of me. Okay, so John, we're going to go through the steps here. John's going to read what each rank signifies, and I'm going to light the candle. I light it first. Yeah. Okay. This is the tender Village Boy Scout. Sam, I don't smoke. I quit smoking 17 years ago. I don't know how these things work yet.
We don't have one of these little things for Boy Scouts, so I'll just say when Sam became a Boy Scout. He became a Boy Scout in May of 1989.
I'm supposed to say a little something about each rank here, and I think with the Boy Scouts, when Sam first became a Boy Scout, when Sam first joined Scouts, he was actually in the 3rd grade, and he was just a little tyke, a little mouth-head kid. And well, actually, this is him right here. And I didn't bring all the rest for every year. But anyway, then this, and you can. I'll be selling 8x10 glossies when you leave. We'll donate the money to the troop. Then he became a Boy Scout on when did you say that? 89, and as a parent, when your son joins the Boy Scouts, you wonder, is this going to be a lasting thing? Is this a flash in the pants type thing? But Sam stuck with it. He spent a lot of time on there. And as parents, you spend a lot of time, Kathy and I spend a lot of time running around. And every person who is a Scout parent does that. And it's worth it. It turned out well, and I don't regret doing that a bit. I think when Sam became a Boy Scout, this was a few years back, and I don't remember a lot of this stuff. But what they do when you become a Boy Scout is they cross you over from the Cub Scout weeklos to the Boy Scouts, and they put a log there, and you walk across this log. And I guess our big concern was whether he was going to fall off the log or not, but he made it, and he became a Boy Scout. Who's got their fire on this chick here?
Tenderfoot. I am the tenderfoot. My 3-point stand for the three parts of the Scout promise. You find me on the mariner's compass, forever pointing the way to the North Star and a safe journey in life. On my face are 2 stars, representing truth and knowledge. A shield which is the emblem of a nation molded together in justice, and an eagle to guard the freedom of my land.
And I guess I was going to say this earlier, but Sam's an Eagle Scout. He's been an Eagle for a while. This is his formal ceremony. He's going to be an Eagle, and he'll get his award later on that signifies him being an Eagle. But a couple things happened in the last couple of days that I think are significant, and I think God had a little hand in doing this. All of a sudden, out by our place where my mother lives, I live just across the woods from her, eagles started appearing above the field and in the woods. So a friend of ours, he had a pendant on, he was wearing an eagle, and then Kathy and I went out to eat, and there was a bunch of eagle pictures on the wall where we were eating. So, like I say, God is a big part of the eagle, of scouting, and I think I like to believe that maybe he sent us a little sign this way.
I am the 2nd class. The ends of my scroll are turned up in the willing smile of the Scout. On my face is our motto, be prepared. And suspended from me is the knot, tied there to remind you of the slogan of the Boy Scouts of America, do a good turn daily. Sam got 2nd class in August of 1990.
This was the year Sam started growing. He grew 7 inches in about 6 months, and this may not be significant to a non-scout mother, but that's when your shirt sleeve comes down to here, your sash comes down about here, so all these things have to be taken off, put on a different shirt and a different sash, and that's what Kathy had to do. I'm sure other scout parents, mothers have gone through that too. And this was also the time when Sam joined his drama, started his acting career in junior high. He was selected to play Friedrich in The Sound of Music at the high school, and yeah, this is. It's got a video though, we'll be showing it later on. But anyway, he grew taller than his dad during the play, and his voice also changed. Yeah, he was taller than his dad and had a rougher voice than his dad in the play.
First class. I am the first class. I was a tenderfoot, and I laid my course by the stars of truth and knowledge, and girded myself with the righteousness of justice and freedom. I added a smile that I might be a friend to all, and bound myself together with the note of duty to others. Sam became first class in April of 1991.
During the period Sam was a first class, he was the senior patrol leader. He was elected the senior patrol leader, and as a senior patrol leader, you're in charge of the troop, like Brian is, and you operate as a manager, like a business professional, things like that. And one of the things any good business manager does is he delegates. Delegate responsibility, delegate work, otherwise you can't function. And Sam was good at that. We get down to a camp out, the guys would throw up their tents and things like that, and they could start delegating. Dad, you start the fire. Dad, you do the cooking. Then we'd cook it, and then he'd come back, and then he'd start delegating. Dad, you do the dishes. That's his delegating. It's something that you go through.
I am the star. Now that I can stand alone, I have earned the right to improvement on my own. To me goes the honor of choosing my field. Before me lies the horizon of endless opportunity. Sam became star in May of 1992.
A part of scouting is camp outs, and Camp Tasomas, where the scouts go every year, is a big part of it. There's also the weekend camp outs, Camp Lambo, and Sam was a scout who really loves these camp outs. He took advantage of what the camp outs had to offer. At Camp Tasomas, you'd see him in the morning, and then he'd be gone. He wouldn't come back until lunch, and then after lunch he'd be gone, and then he'd come back again at supper time. And guys like John, Tom Zach, John Anderson, and Brian, and they all do that to it, and that's what it's for. And like I say, scouting is outdoors, and Sam was one who really took advantage of that. He just, I don't know if scouting gave him the love of the outdoors or the large backyard we have at home, which is Shromigan National Forest, but he takes advantage of it, and scouts should. It's a big part of it.
I am the life. I have shown the world that scouting is in my heart. I have mastered knowledge of subjects that will benefit my country and my fellow man. I am ready to reach for my wings to fly. Sam became life in November of 1992.
Of course, if you've eaten food at the camp, you wonder why you come back for the meals. They are something, especially the desserts. They're the secret. They always put secret ingredients in the desserts down there. The tiny special. You guys remember that? Would we just go through the life? Okay, life is when Sam, approximately when he started high school and got involved in his sports and his drama more, and in his sports injuries, his knees and his fingers, and his ankles. And as parents, you start running a lot more because now they're in sports and drama and things like that. But Sam has got a good balanced life. He doesn't just do one thing. He spreads his time around, and sometimes you think he's spreading it too thin, but somehow he manages to do these things. And Elvin talked about, if you're going to do something, do it well. And Sam does these things. When he goes into something, he does it well. It's not just, slough off. He gives it his best. And his best is good enough for him, and it's good enough for us, and it's good enough for a lot of people.
I am the eagle. It has been a long, hard, but wonderful road. I have mastered my goal. With deep humility, I now stand as a representative of the best that scouting can accomplish in the lives of boys. May I now pass on to my younger brothers a portion of my knowledge. Sam became Eagle in January of 1994.
Sam's Eagle project, for those of you who don't know, was to install the playground at the Head Start school, and a lot of the scouts came to help him. But that'll be something that'll be there for a long time, and when he comes back for his 20th class reunion, he'll be able to take the guys to the back and say, "This is what I know." But as a parent, there's a lot of people who made Sam what he is today. It just wasn't Kathy and I. Amanda, where she was part of it. Sam's sister back then. And it's teachers, it's priests, it's friends, it's fellow scouts, it's relatives. And I as Sam's father, I'm very proud of him, like I said. And I want to thank some of the other people who were involved in getting Sam where he is today. And the Scoutmasters and the Assistant Scoutmasters, Elvin, John Anderson, Don Westfall, who was in here, Ron Cunningham, who was a newer Assistant Scoutmaster, Bob Pent, who was an Assistant Scoutmaster at one time, Craig Olson, who is now, I don't know, is Craig here? Yeah, there he is. So these Scoutmasters and Assistant Scoutmasters spend a lot of time with the kids. Father Al, I want to thank him personally. I know he has a special love for kids, and always seems to have a warm remark for kids, and he isn't aloof, and I think that's important, that kids can respect the priest, and you've certainly earned that, Father. Thank you. The VFW, they sponsor our troop, and Joe Nance is the commander of the VFW. Joe, why don't you stand up and let us give you an applause. They spend a lot of money and a lot of their time in sponsoring the troop and helping these scouts become what they are. And Sam has, like I say, he's made a lot of good decisions in his short life, and one of the good decisions he's made is he's jump in. You know something I don't know. And one of the wise decisions he's made is he's chosen his friends wisely. Sam has some very good friends, and a lot of them are here today, and they're not the uncola. They're not the uncola generation. They're not the X, is that? They're not the X generation. They've shown, and they're guys like John Tomdeck here, Chris Westfall, Sean, Brian, John Anderson, Tony Lynn, John Vitimus, John Jarozinski, Tony Lynn, Angie Reese, Jocelyn Hardy, Carl Strand, Joe Hulbert, Mandy Halpern, Jocelyn, Ron Cunninger, Adam Anderson, Nick Lindgren, Pete Anderson, Tom Piaget, Danny or Ben Olson. Okay, but the kids in Sam's grade, his sophomores that he hangs around with, really, you're a great bunch of kids. I appreciate it that you're Sam's friend. I know Sam enjoys having you as friends. Really? He said no. And by the way, Sam has got me fixing up the basement, so Angie, you don't have to have all the parties over at your house. Sam will have some. Amanda, I want to thank her, Sam's sister. She's put up with a lot over the years. But the thing is, he beats her up, and then I punish him, and she begs for him. She pleads for him. So she's one of Sam's greatest fans and supporters. She probably won't admit that, but I know she loves him. Kathy, my wife, Sam's mother, probably Sam's greatest friend. They spend a lot of time talking about things, and I think she guides him in the right direction, and she's had a lot to do with Sam, what he is. And when I say what he is, I'm talking about him good. So, Sam, we love you. We're very proud of you. Thank you for being what you are. And at this time, normally, you shake hands, but Sam and I don't shake hands. We hug. So Sam, let's show him that mint hug.
Thank you, Mr. Herbst and John. Next thing we'll be doing is presenting Sam with his honors. We have one of our assistant scoutmasters, John Anderson, come and lead Sam through this. The legal applicant escort his parents to the front. Fellow Eagle Scout, we now proclaim to all the world your accomplishments. The symbol of your success is the Eagle Badge, which will now be presented to your parents by John Anderson. Your parents will in turn pin the badge over your heart. By your father. We present him with the Eagle Tie Bar, which he will be proud to wear in your honor. Now also, in recognition of the many hours of patient guidance given by her and your efforts, will you pin the Eagle Mother's pin over your mother's heart?
myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Mr. John Tomzak now come forward as a representative of the National Council of Boy Scouts of America and administer the Eagle Pledge. Your position is one of great responsibility. It is therefore fitting that you pledge yourself to the oath of the Eagle Scout. Make the Scout sign and repeat after me. I promise to undertake my citizenship
I promise to undertake my citizenship
with a solemn dedication
with a solemn dedication
to be a leader,
to be a leader,
but to only lead toward the best,
to only lead towards the best,
to live every task I do,
to live every task I do,
and every office I hold,
and every office I hold,
to the highest level of service,
to the highest level of service,
to God and my fellow men.
to God and my fellow men.
I promise to so live and serve
I promise to so live and serve
that those who know me
that those who know me,
will be inspired to the finest living.
those will be inspired to the finest living.
I promise to be among those
I promise to be among those
who dedicate their
who
skills,
dedicate their skills,
heart and hands
heart and hands,
to the common good.
to the common good.
I promise to help build America
I promise to help build America
on the solid foundation
on a solid foundation
of clean living,
of clean living,
honest work,
honest work,
and reverence to God.
and reverence to God.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
I'm not going to hug you. Thanks, John. Because Randy Belowski was unable to make it today, we'll have Mr. Sawgrove give the charge to Eagle Scouts.
Well, again, it's like a yo-yo there. That's dead center, straight and nice. Looks good, not bad. How's he look? Looks all right. All right, Kathy, if you get on one side, just pick either side. And Wayne, if you get on the other side. Good job. Is this a Kodak moment or what? Well, I guess it is. Well, I have the honor to give your Eagle Scout charge, which is the final part of being an Eagle Scout. And I hope that you will, and I'm going to do it from back here because I want all eyes on you, and I want others to just simply listen, and I want you to be able to see me as I perform and give to you this Eagle charge on behalf of the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America. In front of you stands an Eagle Scout. He is from now until forever an Eagle Scout. Though you may someday put the badge away and it sits in a box and go to college or go to other things or go on to have a family, whatever you do, you are from now and forever an Eagle Scout. I would remind you to live by the symbols and the meaning of an Eagle Scout. You heard part of that in the pledge that you just took. You will now hear and understand the rest of it. Would you make the Scout sign? Would you place that Scout sign over your heart? And would you bow your head? I would ask that before this day is done, Sam, that you would go to her whom you call mother, and that you would take her by the hand and say, Mom, if I've never told you before, and if for some reason I never get a chance to tell you again, I love you. I thank you for all the things that you have done for me and that you have given me. I thank you for facing the grim, dark valley of ordeal that I might live, that I might guide mankind to freely give. Thank you, Mother, for all the badges, for all the trips, for all the things, but most of all, for your love. And next I would ask you that before you put that badge away into its box, that you would go to him whom you call Father, and that you would take him by the hand and say, Dad, if I've never told you before, and for some reason I never get a chance to tell you again, I love you. I thank you for all the things that you have given to me. You are his gift to this world. Everything you say will be an echo in his ear, and everything you do a reflection in his eye. You are his son. You are his gift to mankind and to this world in general. You are his service to his Lord and to his Maker. And I would ask that you would go to him and say, Dad, thank you for the trips, for the campouts, for the help, and for the love. And now I would ask that all Eagle Scouts in the room to please stand. All those who have earned the Eagle Scout badge. If you would please come forward and stand on either side of Mom and Dad. Sam, you are joining a brotherhood of Eagle Scouts. There are over 1 million young men who have earned this badge in various times since the first one was awarded in 1914. There are a lot of people who are looking to you to live to what they have done. Those who have served as presidents, those who have served as CEOs of corporations, those who have served as ministers and priests, those who have served as senators, those who have served as business leaders and farmers, those who have served as dads and caring adults. You are a gift.